Hello, so this is our APP project, which is a chatting application. We are calling it as Ask Me Anything application. So my team members are PARDHA and VISHAL HAYYAL and myself ARHAM CHOWDARY. So this chat application, let, let me give you the introduction. This is a ticket, ticketer based application that allows users to generate text responses to any question they ask. The application uses the Open API to generate responses based on the user's input. The user simply types in their questions and clicks the generate output button to get a response. The application also stores all of the generated inputs and responses in an SQLite database for future reference. The application can be used for a variety of purposes, including generating responses to customer inquiries or providing information to user on a website or app. So our chat application is divided into three parts. The first one is OpenAI, the second one is SQLite, the last one is GUI Ticketer. OpenAI is a research organization dedicated to developing and advancing artificial intelligence in a safe and beneficial way. The OpenAI API is a platform that provides developers with access to powerful language models, and machine learning algorithms that can generate human-like text and perform various natural language processing tasks. The SQLite 3 is a lightweight and fast database management system that provides a simple and easy to use SQLite interface. It is a popular choice for a small scale application that need to store data in a local file database. In the code we provided, SQLite is used to create and manage a database for storing users' prompt and OpenAI generated response. The final part of our application is GUI Ticketer. Ticketer is a standard Python library for creating graphical user interfaces. It provides a set of tools, widgets that allow developers to build interactive and user-friendly applications that run on various platforms.
Has given a brief introduction about our project. Now let's move towards the code section of the project. Here I will try to explain as briefly as I can about the functions and components of the code. The first component, which is importing the multiple libraries. First of all, we import OS is used for environment variables. OpenAI is used for the API. Tkinter is used for the graphical user interface. Messagebox is used for displaying messages. And SQLite 3 is used for storing the user's prompts and responses. Next, we establish a connection to a SQLite database using the SQLite 3.connect method. This allows us to store the user's prompts and responses in a local database. The create database function creates a new table in the database called chat with two columns, prompt and response. Next, we define the generate output function, which is called when the user clicks the generate output button. This function takes the user's input from the entry widget and sends it to the OpenAI API for processing. It then retrieves the response from the API and stores both the prompt and the response in a local database, which is very necessary to store the data. After the user inputs their prompt and clicks the generate output button, the program calls the generate output function. The function sends the user's prompt to the OpenAI API using the OpenAI.complete.create method, which takes several parameters such as the engine to use, the max tokens to generate, the stop sequence to end the generation, and the temperature for randomness. The response from the API is then stored in the local database using the c.execute method, can insert or replace. Clearly, the output generated will be based on the API which we have used, OpenAI. So there is not much of our contribution towards like for the responses. But as far as we can say, uh, it is very common to use APIs for this kind of usages. The response from the API. Next, we have the show1 function which simply retrieves all. Finally, we have a delete button that allows the user to delete or clear the chat history. When the button is clicked, it calls a function named deleteChat that uses a SQL query to delete all data from the chat table.
In previous section we saw about the code of the project. Now we are going to see the demo, and these are the libraries imported for the project and we are going to use for the coding part. And here we connected with the database using these two lines of code, and the function create table user to create the table in the database, and there are two functions for deleting the data and showing the data, and generate data is above. And now we are gonna see the demo also. So let's now see the demo. So I'm giving some input like what is the capital of India, and generate output. So yeah, see the output is the capital of India is New Delhi. And let me give another question, what is meant by Python? Yeah, what is meant by Python? So generate output again. We can see the output as, yeah, Python is a programming language. So now I'm gonna ask something theoretical question like explain linear algebra. So generate output. Now yeah, linear algebra is a branch of mathematics, etc. And in this way we can get. Now I'm going to do delete the data using the delete button, so that the database can be cleared, and whenever we ask a new question after deleting, the database will be cleared. So I ask a question, so the database is cleared. And thank you for watching our video.